Hello, Patreons! I am the Black Shadow, and welcome to a more private video than perhaps I would normally do for the entire channel. This is, I'm hoping to be going forward. This is going to be my way of interacting with you guys directly. As part of what I said I would be doing in regards to the Patreon, anyone who makes any kind of pledge towards it, I would give you guys a more detailed and I guess personal update as to what's going on with the channel, and basically what your contributions is making to the channel as well. Which is, of course, a pretty important thing for you guys, to be crazy enough to do what you're doing and actually physically contribute to the channel, which has been, I mean, humbling's not even the word for it. For what has been a pretty insane month, I've taken some gambles, I guess. I've kind of done things I was very nervous of doing, and a lot of them have worked well, perhaps even worked a bit too well on some occasions. And this is the end result. It has been a hell of a month. It really has. And the only way I can really begin, especially this first one, is just a massive thank you. I was very nervous about setting this up. One of those many things in life where, a bit like just like the Discord, I was really worried I'd set it up and it just wouldn't work out. It wouldn't be very good. It'd kind of flop a bit, and then I'd be like, great. But it has been a roller coaster ride, to say the least. The response to this as well, the Discord server, has been just off the charts, miles beyond anything I expected. And it is very humbling to see that. It's very promising as well, I suppose, personally, to know that people are interested with what I do. Especially you guys are able to be willing to physically support this, so I can do what I do better for everyone's enjoyment. It does fill me with a lot of confidence in that respect that I can do something, pretty much. And self-humility sometimes is not my greatest trait, but it's pretty insane what you guys are doing, and you have my heartfelt thanks for everything. I really, really mean that. So as far as what your pledges I've achieved so far over this insane month of May, where I've set up the Discord, started the Patreon, I've got flooded. Pretty much everything's been going on. I've been working 60 hours a week, and I suppose the main thing, of course, happened only last week, and that's 1080p. My oh my oh my, how long overdue it's been. I simply have no excuses for it. I've kind of been cruising a little bit on 720. I wouldn't want to say, I guess, slash admit that I've kind of been cruising on the channel a little bit. Though perhaps I hadn't been driving it about as much as I could have done. Which is again why I've been decided to do everything that I've done over the past 6 weeks, sort of thing. But 1080p is something that has been long overdue for the channel. It is 2018, and 720 can only get you so far now. And luckily, CM3 found a pretty awesome deal for Vegas 15, which was simply a case of how high was the bar that I had to jump and how soon did I have to do it. And I think within him telling me and me sort of downloading it to test it, I'd have bought it within the hour. It was a total no-brainer. The software's pretty decent, actually. It's taken a bit to learn. There's some quirks to it, like any video editing software, I guess. But it's pretty easy to use. It's more reliable than my old one, that is for sure, which had started not always finishing videos. It's been a bit weird. And that is the main thing. And whilst I know not every single person will be able to enjoy 1080 straight away, because you never have a pretty reasonable internet connection to enjoy it properly and reliably. For those that do, I think the difference in even just what I've been testing is huge. And now we've got Metal Gear Solid 2 that's starting to run in 1080p. Revelations 2, I've got a couple of videos I haven't put together for that yet, so I'll probably put those in 1080. And then all the stuff we've got going forward, I've got some, pretty big plans coming up towards the back end of this year as well, which 1080p is going to just be utterly glorious for. So that should be really awesome. Um, I mean, the month itself is large. Personally speaking, it has been a total roller coaster. I've I've never had so much going on at once. I really, really haven't. And whilst I'm used to doing these summers, I mean, this sort of summer of doing like 60 hours a week for like 6 weeks, sort of thing. This is the fourth time I've done this. I first did it. I think the first time I did it, I was actually LPing Final Fantasy X, where I very quickly realised you can't do everything while doing this. I tried to do way too much with commitments and recording and trying to do those kind of hours of work, and I just simply couldn't do it. And it was a mess. RPGs, when you're doing those kind of hours of the editing you've got to do for them, it's a bad idea. Don't do it. But it's a double-edged sword, I guess. In the end, I mean, the Discord has been so much more successful than I thought it would be. I had no way of knowing kind of any expectations for it. I'd have been happy for like 20, 30 people. It would have been cool. As it is, we're at about 65 already and growing. And whilst that's awesome, I've been able to meet a lot of you guys. I've been able to speak with some of you now, of you and some other people on the Discord as well. Get to learn some of you more, as you guys probably know a lot more about me than I do you sometimes. It has its double-edged sword in that coupled with sort of sorting out this Patreon, with the work I'm doing, with recording commitments, with other hobbies I have, and other personal things that have been going on. It's been so difficult to balance everything. I've just never had so many things to balance, and sometimes it just creates bad situations and mistakes that you made, that I've made this month. It's very regretful. Sometimes that happens. I won't delve into it too much here, but you know, it's something I have to learn to do better. Something I have to learn to manage everything better. I've been a bit overtaken with everything that's been going on. You know, so even doing this work, sometimes some nights I just get home and I just want to crash. You know, it's like this week I know I've got a full 60 hours to go. As I say this on Monday night, I know I'm going to be there until sort of Saturday evening. It's going to be that situation. It's just a crazy week this week. But I suppose the trick is not losing focus on the things that matter more, and balancing everything and prioritizing everything. And whilst I'm trying to limit the things I do in the evenings, you know, I have a lot of commitments I'm involved with. Like I play for like Buckinghamshire County Pool, for example. I play in various leagues. I'm involved with sort of charitable organisations as well, and I do other bits and pieces on the side too. And you just can't do all of that and do these sort of hours and do a hobby like this, and still not lose sight of people that are around you, and you know, people that you know you should probably just not lose focus of, you know. But that's me rambling about things that have happened which have not been great, and I can only try and improve on that. But sometimes you have to make the mistakes and make the errors to know that you did it in the first place. And I like to think it's how you pick up from it and carry on from that, and learn from it and improve yourself. I think that is really what it's got to be about. So, you know, it takes time. We'll get there. Anyways, so whilst I don't want this to drag on too crazy long, I will make a mention, of course, I did have plans to do some live streaming. About this time last week, I had planned to do a test live stream on the Bank Holiday Monday, Memorial Day, for the channel. Fortunately, of course, that got canned because I got flooded the night before, and the place was a total mess, and I had to sort that out. That was the thing I had to fix. Along with the people that have been here. We still haven't fully recovered from that. Downstairs is still not great. There's still a not very pleasant smell from stuff that's been damaged, and that will take some time to clear out. That's how it is. As far as the actual test stream is concerned, I do still intend to do it. I can't sit here and say exact date at this point. I'm hoping in about 2.5 weeks ish. I can't sit here and confirm an exact date because I haven't worked it out. I can't sit here and confirm an exact site either. I know obviously Twitch is the big one, which I might well explore. But the one I've also been very interested in is Mixer, the former Beam, which is owned by Microsoft, admittedly, which kind of carries a stigma, I suppose. But I've watched some stuff on Mixer before, not very much, but I have been pretty impressed with its with it. It seems reasonably reliable-ish. And for me, the big thing is chat delay. In that when I'm doing something live streaming, I want that to be a physical minimum. And I'm watching Mixer streams, and I'm seeing like chat delays of maybe like a couple of seconds, if that sometimes. And that's pretty huge to me. Twitch maybe has improved, but from times I've watched it in the past, I'm going back a few years, admittedly now, the delay was pretty big, and that does impact being able to interact with everyone that's watching it. While certainly I'm looking forward to doing it, I am certainly nervous about it. I've had to make some jumps over time, from just doing this hobby was a jump. Eventually doing like an update on camera was a hell of a jump. I was pretty frightened to do. And actually recording and doing this hobby live is a hell of a jump to make as well. And it's pretty nerve-wracking because I don't get to edit stuff. There are no retakes, and if something goes bad, it's gonna go bad. It's a lot to manage. I know I've got people around me that will help as best they can in that respect. I've played around with open broadcasting software with CM3 as well. But it's, if you want to progress and do more things, you just simply have to learn how to do that and put the time and effort into it. And assuming it all works and I get to actually do physical streaming, in maybe like a month or two, I don't know. I get the feeling it's going to be pretty awesome to do. I get the feeling everyone's going to enjoy it. But it does carry with it certainly its own challenges on my end as a broadcaster, as a creator, as a performer, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. It will be nervous. Very, very nervous. There may be like a bottle of cider somewhere over here out of sight so you people can't see it. Just to calm me down. We'll see. Going forward, for June, which we are now in, say my crazy work commitments should slow down in a couple of weeks, which will help. We got Revelation 2 and Metal Gear Solid 2, both that are probably going to be over by the end of the week, which means I've got Final Fantasy Tactics, which of course we had that fun vote on about a month ago, and something else on the side, which I did mention a bit in the Discord server. I am very, very, very keen on finding something to counteract the length of Tactics. Something pretty short, and ultimately I think I'm going to go for a lot of short games. And I think what I'm going to be doing is effectively reviving the NES season of a couple of years ago. I intend to revive it, change it a little bit as well. Not necessarily just be stuck to NES titles, there are millions I could play. But perhaps also explore with some SNES titles as well, which is a console I am far, far less familiar with. Yet still had some fantastic titles on. So that's something for me to look at doing and enjoying in the near future. It should be pretty good. Even the original SNES season, we had some real good LPs, some great games for that matter as well. And it should be pretty good. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be nice to kind of break things up. Like the last 6 weeks, we've had average video lengths of best part of an hour, which is a bit too long. Metal Gear Solid 2 and Revelations raid mode for you. They're kind of long. Pretty much. And of course, going forward as well in regards to what you guys are doing for the channel, as far as what I want to do next for the channel itself, probably involves this thing actually. I've had this mic since since when I started. Me and CM Fruy, we bought the same mics. They weren't too much. It was about like, I forget now. It was about like 40-ish quid, I think it was, when we first exploring this. It's been really reliable. It's been really good. It's lasted this whole time, which has far exceeded my expectations. But it is a bit on the old side now, and that is certainly something I need to address. Once things calm down in a couple of weeks, I'll be able to explore a bit more options of mics to potentially get. What I will do, I don't know. I've had a couple of sessions with the Discord. I also know one of my tech guys has effectively a recording studio where he lives, and he deals with all sorts of things audio-wise, and so he seems like probably a good suggestion myself to quiz him on potential good quality mics for me to explore with. I might just go with like a decent Turtle Beach headset with a mic and just carry on like that for now. I might get a freestanding one here. I honestly don't know. Any suggestions you guys have got, of course, feel free to throw them at me and I'll explore them as time follows through. But that's kind of the next thing I want to do is, now we've improved the visuals of everything we're seeing, if I can improve the audio, that's pretty much it. The next step is to improve me, right? Because that's not going to be a task or anything. So yeah, that's more or less going to be it for this. Going forward, I'm looking to do these around the very end of the month / start of the month. Somewhere around that changeover period. That's kind of my goal, to do that and to do these videos, to give you guys an update on my thoughts and how the channel's progressing, and of course just constantly getting on my knees and saying I'm not worthy. I also hoping perhaps in future installments of these, as I mentioned before, it's a if people have got things they want me to to think about and talk about, sort of whatever they want, they're happy to pitch ideas of sort of subject matters, sort of relevant to gaming, or maybe not even gaming, things that perhaps might take my interest, and just kind of discuss them sort of generally. I don't know, this is the thing with this Patreon. It's the same as the Discord. I've sort of set these up to serve a purpose. How exactly it's going to serve that purpose is totally modifiable. Say with the server, we set it up with CM Fruy. It was kind of bare bones-ish, and as people had suggestions for chats and ideas and suggestions, we've thrown them in there, seen what's worked. Some things haven't necessarily worked, and it's the same for this. I've got a set of things and rewards on the rewards list. It's like the $25. You guys get this for the first month. After that, I don't know. I legit don't know what to do. I know it seems really bad, right? It was the one tier out of all of them. Beyond this, I don't know what you guys might want. It might be maybe something that's particularly interesting for you. Maybe there's a particular kind of thing you'd want me to send or do. I have legit no idea. So feel free to post them here, and I'll work them out as best as I can. But that is going to be it for this one, because I've kind of rambled on way too much, as I tend to do. So thank you guys so much for everything you're doing. It means a hell of a lot. It means a hell of a lot. It really does. To have been doing this for almost 7 years. I probably should have done this a long time ago. A couple people have told me as such, and judging by how this has started, yeah, they're probably right. Mistakes, eh? Anyways, thank you guys very much. Please stay tuned. I'll be once I have details on a test stream, I'll be posting them both on the Patreon chat, on the Discord when I can speak. I'll also be posting it here, and I'm fully contactable on the Patreon. Feel free to send me messages as and when you desire, and I'll get back to them as soon as I physically can. But that is going to be it for this. So thank you guys so much for listening. Hope you enjoy the channel. I assume you have. If you're giving me money and you don't enjoy what I'm doing, I mean, it's your life. I can't make you do whatever you want to do. If you want to send me $25 a month and you're like, that Black Shadow, What an idiot. He doesn't have a clue what he's talking about. He still sent me $25, so cheers. Anyways, take care of yourselves, guys.